Nancy.
Welcome to tonight's PM Magazine. Doug Allen has the night off.
Coming up next, the shocking and traumatic past of America's little darling.
Animal crackers in my soup.
Tournament of Roses parade. Exactly 50 years after the first time she had that honor as everyone's little darling, Shirley Temple. Well, Shirley hasn't made a movie in nearly 40 years, but she's still loved all the world over. And now the grown-up Mrs. Black has written a book about the little girl she used to be. And she says that the good ship Lollipop wasn't what it seemed.
On the good ship, Lollipop, it's a sweet trip to a candy shop.
Even in the depths of the Depression, one look at those dimples and America smiled. Shirley Temple could do that. She could make you laugh, and she could make you cry.
Please let the grandfather take me home. He didn't mean to do anything bad. I'll work hard and pay back for everything he broke.
This effervescent little bundle buoyed the spirit of her country. She single-handedly saved Fox Studio from bankruptcy, and she became the top box office draw 4 years in a row. But her own life wasn't always so sweet. At the age of 3, she started work, and when she was bad, the director put her in the black box.
They put a big cake of ice in that, and if a child didn't obey, they put the child in the black box, closed the door, and there you were in the dark. You couldn't sit down because you'd sit on the ice, and you couldn't lie down because it was kind of wet. And I learned, that's when I learned that it was work, not play, and that time is money.
Unbelievable as that might sound, it's only one revelation in Temple's new tell-all autobiography called Child Star. A book full of great gossip and did-you-knows, like the one about Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan was the best kisser.
And First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt. While Eleanor was flipping lamb chops at a family barbecue,
She bent over, and the target was absolutely irresistible for me. And I reached into my purse, got my trusty slingshot, picked up one of her pebbles from her garden, and put one right on target, hit her right in the rear.
Shirley became a target herself in her heyday, first with several blackmail threats, then with a near-miss murder attempt. And all the while, she kept growing up, much as America wished she wouldn't. And the more movies she made, the more she caught the eye of producers, like Arthur Freed, who first displayed his interest and then displayed himself with his pants down.
That was at MGM. I was 12 years old. Yes, I had thought he was a producer. He turned out to be an exhibitor. It caused me to laugh. I'd never seen anyone naked in my life except myself, so I had no clues.
You probably have no idea what an unusual person you are. I can see it. I'm really much older than I look.
And that's when Shirley really learned about the casting couch. She had big-time movie men locking doors and chasing her around desks. And according to her book, she was probably raped by a lesser movie mogul. But Shirley won't tell for sure.
I don't talk about it because of the sensibilities of his family. I just don't talk about it.
Other things Shirley doesn't like to talk about much are money and her first husband. She married young, at 17. He was an alcoholic and a womanizer. She tried, he failed. And her trust fund? Well, she turned 22 and learned her money had been mismanaged.
Well, I had earned about $3,400,000 in my career. And I ended up with a trust fund with $44,000 in it. And it was a shock.
Animal crackers in my soup do funny things to me. They make me think my neighborhood is a big menagerie.
And that's 19 years of the most famous child star in the world. Ups and downs, honest and authentic, straight from the mouth of a babe.
Sometimes I jump to Jesus to make me feel good.
The book only goes up to the early 50s and doesn't talk about Shirley's second very long and happy marriage or her diplomatic career. That's material for another book or two, and she intends to write them. But one thing Mrs. Black has always made perfectly clear is how fond she is of little Shirley, and she's also very protective of any attempts to exploit her.
This name is valuable, but Shirley Temple is making it more difficult for others to cash in on it. The former child star bubbled over when she saw her name being used to market soft drinks.
After more than 30 years, the Shirley Temple soda that we all loved as kids is available in a bottle.
Shirley's lawyers have succeeded in erasing her full name from labels and ads like this one, at least for the time being. As a result, this product can only use the name Shirley T until the case comes to trial. It seems that Little Shirley still means big business.
Shirley's movies still do a brisk business on TV and in video stores, and she doesn't mind giving them a marketing boost. In fact, when you buy her book, it comes with a bookmark advertising 10 Shirley Temple movies available on video cassette.
Coming up...